What's up and welcome back to the channel. The name is Ninja Knight. Make sure you like, share, subscribe and hit the notification bell up above for future uploads. Thank you. So a couple of months ago I talked about the Razor Crest from Haslab, and one thing stood out to me when they were talking about the accessories and the different type of features that this had. It looked like a very nice vehicle. And then they pointed out in particular this here, and this was an escape pod. Now this made me think, and I was saying to myself, I wonder why they would introduce an escape pod. We haven't seen it in season 1, maybe we'll see it in season 2. And then season 2 of the Mandalorian started to come out, and then of course then there was the infamous Instagram post from Pedro Pascal when he decided to liken Orange Man bad supporters to the bad guys in early Germany in the early 30s and 40s. And I said to myself, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pass on this now in terms of supporting this, because I don't want to support an individual like that. And luckily enough, I decided to do that because we have seen a collective number of individuals that have been very upset as to what happened with relation to this Haslab Razor Crest. Now, I know what you were thinking, what are you talking about? Well, I'm going to get into that now in a moment. Here we had an escape pod, and that was something that I always had a question mark over. I've said to myself, well, it wasn't in season 1, is season 2 going to feature? And then as season 2 progressed, I was saying to myself, maybe there's a bigger thing coming for this, and we got it. Here it was. An Imperial ship decided to destroy the Razor Crest and left the Mandalorian absolutely shipless. So an awful lot of people, of course, straight away after this had happened and after the initial excitement of seeing the great Boba Fett return, started to think to themselves, I've just put down $400, €400, £400 on a ship that has been absolutely eviscerated. And immediately then people were like, well, give me back my money. I don't want to back this now anymore. So I know at this moment in time, the way the Haslab projects work, they take the money fairly soon and fairly quickly. So you are probably out of luck in terms of that. Now there are people that are out there that will not want to support this whatsoever, given the fact that it's now a defunct ship. It is a ship that no longer exists, and we will have to wait and see what they decide to do with this one in season 3, if there is a season 3 to be had. I know they've announced it, but we shall wait and see in terms of that one. So a lot of people now pretty much feel a little bit ripped off. And I have to say, when you look at the Haslab projects so far, you have Jabba's sail barge, which blew up. You have Unicron, who blew up. You have the Razor Crest, which now blew up. And then you have the Hasbro Marvel Legends Hasbro Sentinel, which are infamous for blowing up and being destroyed. Maybe there's a theme in Haslab that they are picking up characters, picking up vehicles of things that are being destroyed. It's quite an interesting sight to look at when you actually spell it out and you look at the recent Haslab acquisitions, and they are all characters and or vehicles that have been destroyed. So maybe that's an avenue that they're going down. Maybe it's just because these items were so popular, they didn't have an awful lot of longevity. Obviously the Sentinels have done, but when you're looking at it like this, maybe that is the route that they're going down. I'm sure an awful lot of people that were pretty unhappy that they've spent $400, €400, £400 on a ship now that has been blown up. I'm sure that there's plenty of people out there that were like, yeah, it doesn't matter, no problem. So I was a little bit curious as to why this was made into a Haslab project. I think it makes sense now why. Personally, I can't understand why they didn't release this ship in and around season 1. Maybe didn't have an awful lot of faith in the show. Maybe it's got something to do with, like I've been reporting about, that they've been given a lesser budget for the next 2 years on Star Wars. That's why we're seeing single elbows and single knees. People can talk about the movement and the articulation that they have all they want. They are never going to have the same articulation as something that has double jointed elbows, double jointed knees. And that is just that. You're seeing some of the cutbacks that are being made, molds being reused constantly. You've seen a Darkseid Rey, for example, a character that I have no interest in. But you've seen a character that's come out now that's using a lot of reuse for what's supposed to be a brand new mold. You're seeing an awful lot of troopers being reissued, different paint schemes, different colour schemes. And you're going to get plenty more of that now in the future. Believe you me, the next 2 years is going to feature an awful lot of repaints. Why do you think that they held back the archive line? They've held back the archive line because they're figures that they can hold back. They have the molds, they have it's easy to do. And then with a little bit of face print looks better and they will sell them again. If anybody thinks that Star Wars isn't in trouble in terms of the financial problems it's in at the moment, given the amount of shows that they decided to announce that people are just not interested in, and then with some of the messing about that occurred in season 2 of The Mandalorian, I'd be surprised to say if this doesn't hit another very big speed bump very, very soon. I keep saying it, Kathleen Kennedy and Dave Filoni are massive problems that were in Lucasfilm. We've seen Lucasfilm employees coming out and attacking individuals on Twitter on the regular, and some individuals, some prominent YouTubers have felt that fire recently, and it's good to see them finally realise that this stuff has been happening and they're going to turn up and say something about it. We're going back to the Haslab Razor Crest. I would love to hear from people in the comments. If you have purchased it, what is your thoughts on this now? Does this have a bit of buyer's remorse, or are you saying to yourself, it's a fantastic looking chip, it's coming with a premium deco, it's coming with an exclusive child and crib, it is coming with a number of exclusive accessories, and this is a ship that would probably not get made again, and if they do, it might be less in terms of the standard versus like the likes of paint and stuff like that they might have on a standard release, that I think that they should do and that they probably will do later on down the road given the popularity of this one. I'd be interested to see if they decide to bring this ship back after pouring the amount of time and resources into this. What do you think? And does this make you want to definitely rescind your purchase and say, nah, I'm not interested in this? And then my other question is going to be, for people that have purchased this with the intent on selling this on maybe later down the road, or is there people selling it on as soon as they get it now due to this? What do you think the price is going to be for that? Is that going to be commanding a high price or a low price? Let me know what you think below. Anyway, I'm going to leave the video there. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I'll talk to you later. Good luck.